In today's conversation, we're going to talk about the best kind of defense. Let's get into it. Welcome into the Bears and Lions podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Vaught, and this is the podcast where we challenge the present by viewing our past. And yes, I'm a firm believer that our greatest future lies within the correct view of our past, because when you actually look at it, I feel like you find out that you are way stronger than you could imagine. You are far more prepared than you could ever know. And you are ready to step into your future from all the things that you've done already. They've prepared you for this. So step into it with me, as today we are going to talk about the best kind of defense. And I think it's well known, right? The saying, defense wins championships, right? That's like an old saying, but it's one that's been around for a long time, and it's one that's worked quite a bit as well. We've seen that all throughout sports. I mean, it's a really great idea, as defense wins championships. We've seen it with teams like the Denver Broncos and Von Miller. Back in the day, we also saw in 2016, LeBron James played lights out, went down 3-1 to Steph Curry and the Warriors. That was the 2016 NBA Finals. Defense is something that you just have to play. I'll never forget when he went up and blocked this shot off the glass, and it was like the shift of the entire series was on that defensive play. Defense is necessary in sports, right? It's necessary when you are going up against an adversary and you're trying to keep them from scoring, and you have to score, whatever it might be. Defense is something that's so important when it comes to competition like that. But when it comes to building your future, I feel like defense can become debilitating. It can become a point where you stop whatever you're doing and you actually don't accomplish much. And we'll look at it like this way. So in sports, you've got a couple different defenses, but we're just going to go through two right now. So there's the prevent defense, right? The prevent defense is, I'm going to prevent them from scoring. But when we put that into our life decisions and our future, and we put it into what we are doing on a daily basis, prevent defense is us saying, I will make choices in my life that help prevent bad things from happening, right? Of course, we want to avoid bad things. We want to use wisdom. We want to make smart choices, right? We don't want to go and do dumb things. And so we do want to make those wise choices. But prevent defense in making those defensive decisions in your life can lead to quite a few things. One, you are going to go and you're going to act less proactively and more reactively. So if something will happen, and instead of you being able to get out in front of it, you're going to be behind it, trying to play defense. And no, I need to prevent this from happening. So maybe it's you're not putting yourself in a specific job or in a specific friend group or whatever. We would call that more of a zone defense, right? I will control the people I allow in my life and will stay in my zone. So the two defenses of our lives that I would talk about is prevent defense and zone defense. Because I think that when you boil it down, a lot of our decision making is based on these two thought processes. Is I don't want to lose my job, therefore I will go to work, right? There are things like that you make just natural decisions every single day. Doesn't even matter. But there's also the decisions where you'll say, I don't really like what they are doing over there, so I'm not going to go over there. I'm not going to hang out with them. Or it may be in the sense of, I don't understand it, so I'm not going to learn it. And so that may be one of those where it's a zone defense, where it's like, I have my group of friends. They agree with me. I agree with them. I don't need to learn something new or meet new people. I'm comfortable where I am. And that's great and all, but I do find that when you close yourself off like that and you keep yourself just in your zone, you are playing a defense and you are living life defensive, because you will shy away from the opportunities where you would have to meet new people. You might find yourself a little bit more lonely. And I've gone through moments like this where I've actually found myself very isolated because I was so focused on the fact that I don't really want more people in my life. I have my group and that's all I need. or even more so over the last few years with COVID, it was, I have myself and that's all I need, right? Like it was the first time that I think a lot of people got a chance to be alone. Some people fell in love with the isolation and they were like, yes, I can be alone. Everybody shut up and leave me alone. And then other people, they really struggled with it. They found themselves in that deeper and darker depression of, I really miss being around people and I need to be around people right now. And so they go into, and I've seen post-COVID where so many people have honestly jumped into relationships, jumped into just that social outlet of like, I have to be around people because it has been so long that you can almost get that overwhelming smothering side where it's like, we don't have to hang out all the time. And it's very strange because I don't think any of us have ever experienced anything quite like this in the recaps of the fact that, especially this year, we see a couple more upticks of COVID. I know they've talked about like new lockdowns and stuff, and that's something that a lot of people are worried about. It's a genuine question of like, oh no, like can we handle that isolation again? I think that zone defense is something that is dangerous because you put yourself in a opportunity to hear an echo chamber. So if you're only around people that agree with you, there's probably a possibility that there's a lack of growth, right? There's not the tilling of the ground and fresh soil being produced. It's more of just we're mulling over the same stuff over and over and over. And if you don't have that challenging friend that maybe views life differently, or maybe they have a different belief, or they are living a life in a different way that you are traveling, or whatever it might be, you can learn a lot from those people. And those friends, you can actually gain more if you're able to humbly just simply say, I want to be around those people because it's something new and it's something fresh, and it may give me a new view on life. And maybe it'll give me something that I can experience for myself, or maybe it's just something that inspires me to go after it. I have a couple friends, in fact, a big shout out to a couple friends that I've met over the last few years on Twitch, on the social media sites. I've met some streamers that I follow them on social media, not religiously like that, but I love when they post because I know that their posts are going to make me smile, and I know that their posts are also going to inspire me. So there's a lot of them out there, and you know who you are, but a huge shout out to them. There's one specific that I was thinking of that I messaged today is Queen Manda, and her development of social media and how she posts have been absolutely incredible. And so big shout out to her. I really appreciate it. It actually was one of her clips that I saw go viral on like TikTok and Instagram. And I was like, that is so cool because she just started, she went and did it. She's like a gym rat as well. So like my type of people, I love it. But super inspiring. But it was one of her clips, and I just remember watching it thinking, she's just posting and doing it. It's not about, oh, I have to have this, like, I need to have this clip go viral. She just posts, and it's just incredible. So Queen Manda on all socials, you should go look her up. Going on, though, with the dangers of defense, there's some interesting things about in life and living life. If you put defense towards your future, defense is a very ineffective way to build your future. And here's why. Because no matter how well you play a defense, the world will keep on spinning. Today, the sun rose. Tomorrow, the sun will rise again. The next day, it'll rise again. It's the most consistent thing in the history of history. Literally, since the beginning of time, whenever that time did begin, the sun has risen and set the same exact way for thousands of years. And with that consistency, if you are constantly on the defense, if you are only living your life on defense, you will never get to a point where you can score. Defenders rarely score. If you're only focused on preventing things from happening in your life, you will never make anything happen in your life. That's what's so dangerous about the defensive mindset, is that there are so many avenues in life that I understand you want to make wise choices. But if you are purely making a defensive decision of, I don't really want to do that, or I don't want to experience that type of pain, I don't want to really go through that, so I'm not going to deal with that right now. It's kind of like we talked about a little bit ago was procrastination on one of the previous episodes. We talked about procrastination, but that is just one of those avenues where it's a defensive mindset that I don't want to deal with this, so I'm just going to try to prevent it from happening right now. If it happens in the future, then I'll deal with it. That's a lot of stress. I don't want to deal with it. And that's what's so dangerous about living that defensive life. And I've met people, I've lived this way before, where it's like, I just want to exist. Well, okay, that's great. Sometimes there are moments in life that you really do just need to focus on eating, sleeping, and getting some form of sunlight and exercise. That's it. Go to work, get some sunlight, eat actual food, drink water, and then get some exercise, and then go to sleep. Get some sleep. Like, that's a big thing, is like sleep. It's massive. But in that process of trying to build a future, we call it a constructive criticism. If you're never getting any of that constructive criticism, the reason it's called constructive, right? It's building. That's why we call it a construction zone, construction workers, right? Criticism that is constructive gives you a chance to build something upon that. So take that. If that's what I don't want feedback from somebody on this, then you're not going to be building something. You're never going to get that constructive criticism that's going to help you build a solid foundation to actually move forward with. And that's something that I have learned over the last, I would say, few months, is that my life choices was more preventative. I was playing more of a preventative defense, right? Where I would go to the gym because it was like, I want to prevent myself from getting larger or being unhealthy. I had gained a lot of weight over COVID, and it was something that I really pushed toward for a little bit. And then it just became this, like, I'm preventatively working out reluctantly, not because I really wanted to, not because I had discipline, but it was more like, if I don't, I'm afraid of what's going to happen. To where a couple months ago, I was listening to a podcast and was really impressed by the speaker. And it kind of just was like an overwhelming thing of like, whoa, maybe I need to make some life changes. So instead of staying up later, I started waking up earlier. I started making a choice to go to the gym and doing it not out of a idea, but out of discipline. Just it's going to be a part of me. I just want it to be a part of me. I don't even care about anything else. I don't care about results. I just am going to go because I know that going creates a discipline, and it allows me to do it not because it makes me feel good, even though it does. The gym makes me feel really, really good mentally more than anything. But I feel confident in myself. I feel confident when I go to the gym. So it gives me that boost in the morning that I really, really need. It makes me more creative, and I love it. But it's a habit that nobody is ever going to force me to work, or I hope I'm not in a job that I necessarily have to. I may every once in a while, but I probably won't ever work a job where I have to work at 5 or 5 a.m. and 5:30 in the morning anymore. Like, I really probably won't ever work another job in my life where I have to wake up and be at work at 5 a.m. unless I'm working in food service. And I know that that's something that I can do. So if I can create a schedule where I can go to bed and wake up at 5:30 a.m. every morning and work out before I go to work, I can create that habit for the rest of my life, period. And that will give me the discipline I need to where anything I need to do, I can apply that discipline to, where I'm just going to do it because I'm supposed to do it and it makes me healthy. And I know it makes me happy, so I'm going to do that too. Which brings me to our final point of the fact that the best defense. What's the best kind of defense then? If preventative defense and zone defense isn't that great for our future, if you want to build your future, the best defense is a good offense. And I'm going to break it down to you like this. We talked about the 2016 finals. LeBron James put up 41 points in game 5 and 41 points in game 6 of those finals to force a game 7, which changed the momentum into Cleveland turning into Believeland. And when it comes to your future, you have to be on offense. You have to change that mentality of defensive to offense. I have to be on offense because going up against your future, it's not you versus somebody else. It's not you versus the world. It's not you versus them. It's you versus you. And if you want to do something, then you have to go out and get it. Go on offense. Wake up early. You want to get more done? If you don't have enough time, wake up earlier. Go to bed earlier. If you want to lose weight, eat healthier. There's so much available on the internet that allows you to learn your body types and everything like that to help you out with that. The internet is a fabulous, fabulous piece of just information that you can look up. So whatever you want to do, you want to go back to school, look up on the internet, Google it. I used to say that all the time. I learned it from a professor in college. Google it. You don't know it, Google it. Whatever it is you want to do, you want to learn a language, you want to learn how to travel, you want to learn a different job, you want to go get a different job, Google it. Find out the steps that you need to take. Take charge of what your future is and what it's going to look like, and go build it. Just go do it. Like, that's the beauty of it, is you don't have to wait for permission to build your own future. You can go and begin today, and that is something that is so incredibly precious that you should hold on to, and you should say, no, I'm not going to let other people rule my future. I am going to go and build it. So I'm going to go on offense, and I'm going to go score the basket, and I'm going to go do what I have to do, and I'm going to get it done, and I'm going to get it done today. That's going to do it for today's conversation. I hope that you will have a wonderful, wonderful week. Remember to give grace, show love, and as always, stay stellar. Peace.